Trigger warning, toilet humour. Sometimes when you're out, milling about, dropping in for some shopping and popping back out, stopping off for a coffee and a bite to eat in your favourite little cafe just to give yourself a treat, and you might meet up with friends in the middle of the street or greet them with another cuppa up another street and take a seat to alleviate the aching in your feet. And while you're there, well, you might as well have something else to eat. But then suddenly, your body starts to give you little warnings. It might start with a fart in the middle of the morning and a dawning realisation that your bladder's really full, with a pain in your belly and alarm bells in your skull. And you start to feel the panic as you try to hold it in, and your search is getting manic and your head is in a spin, because the nearest toilet that you tried is occupied, so you decide to go and find another, but you're praying for your mother. As the farts are lasting longer, the pong is getting stronger, you no longer care about your hair or shopping for new clothes to wear, except maybe new underwear, but there's no time for that now. You're worried that you shite yourself, you're worried for your mental health, you gladly trade your family's wealth. If you could only find a toilet before your pants are soiled, but your arse is blowing bubbles, and your bladder's really troubled, so your urgency is doubled. As your rectum gets inflammatory, you finally find a lavatory and burst into a cubicle. It's the makings of a musical. You stop and lock the door, drop your shopping on the floor, which is soaked with someone's piss, but at the moment none of this is that important as you're caught in an emergency contortion. As you turn and lift the lid, you see the skid mark someone did, and you look inside the loo, you see a stranger's poo regarding you. But there's nothing you can do, you're too far gone as your arse cheeks are protesting and you're barely hanging on. So as you rush to hit the flush, your bowels give a mighty push, there isn't time to wipe the seat, you drop your pants and make your feet, and with relief beyond compare, release your grief and deep despair. So now the waterfall has started and your panic has departed. As you check inside your underpants, you see you hadn't sharted. But your popping isn't stopping as you're dropping half your body weight. Your bum cheeks soaked in splashback from debris of all the things you ate. You're in a state that have to wait until it all alleviates, deliberating whether you should contemplate your mortal fate. But finally you're finished and you give a little cheer. But your cries are soon diminished as you worry who might hear. But have no fear, at least you're done. And so you go to wipe your bum. And that's the moment that you realise, amidst new cries of sad surprise, that the toilet paper's gone. There's just an empty tube with nothing on. So once again you sat upon a sorry situation where the only explanation of a good rectification is to use your pants instead of paper to be your bottom scraper. And then escape and go commando. And by that I don't mean Rambo, but as quickly as you can go until you finally make it home and you sit there all alone like a grubby garden gnome. And you wallow in your filth and hide and swallow remnants of your pride inside your hollow shell, which is followed by the smell of your defeat coming from the heat of your sweaty soiled seat. So now your day from hell's complete. And that's where you cower, as hour follows hour, until you finally find the power to arise from the stale and fetid filth, like a slowly climbing flower that clings like death to every step ascending up a tower, and you crawl towards the shower.